Okay. I guess I'll just start asking some things while we're waiting.
Okay.
First of all, before I go into like the more expected questions, I guess, the main part of this, have you been diagnosed with, or do you suspect you have any mental conditions, and are you in different moods than usual, etc.
Oh,
That kind of thing.
I've been diagnosed with major depressive disorder, but I take medication for that. So I should be
Okay.
stable as we speak.
Okay, that's good. Um, yeah, that's basically all I needed to know with that.
Cool.
Yeah. So first thing, what do you look for in friendships, and what do you typically talk about or do with your friends?
Hmm. Uh.
Hello, Stefan.
In Yeah, Stefan. In friendships, I usually look for camaraderie, mutual interest in things. It's sort of like when two people have been thinking about something and they can't quite explain it, and then they bump into somebody, and all of a sudden, like the two pieces just click together, and then there's this spark that's there. They can talk about anything, and it's never awkward or embarrassing. It's just the conversations just flow. There's respect for each other. That's what I generally seek for in friendship.
Okay. Um, yeah, that makes sense. Um, do you work or study? If so, where do you work or what do you study?
I don't currently work right now. I was laid off because of the pandemic. I worked at a movie theater, and uh, I just graduated from high school, so I'm not doing anything
That's
right
nice.
now.
Okay. What are your main hobbies or interests, and what do you like about them?
Um, Main hobbies. Well, I'm a bit of a cinephile. Like I'm a kind of obsessed with movies and filmmaking and cinema theory. Uh, I've directed and produced a couple of short films over the past couple of years. Um, I'm currently writing a screenplay right now. Um, and I like just researching various fields of interest, but they almost always pertain to something that I could film or maybe like write a story about. And it's just because I think making movies is probably one of the most superior ways to tell stories just because of how many mediums you can use. Like it can be photography, there's music, acting, writing involved, and editing, and combining all of those art forms to tell one clear narrative and themes and stuff, and give the audience an experience.
I see. Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Okay. Do you have any significant other, or have you had one? If so, compare yourself with them. How are you different?
I have not had a significant other.
Okay, fair enough. Um, I don't know how applicable this is in that case, but if you're able to answer it, in choosing romantic partners, what's a deal breaker for you, but not for most other people?
Mm, I don't know. I don't know yet, but I'd like to think that if I were going to be choosing a partner or someone for a romantic relationship, it would be just someone who's easygoing. But I don't really know how to answer that yet because I haven't found anybody, and I don't know what I want yet.
Yeah, that's fair. How easy is it for you to feel relaxed, and what do you do to relax?
Oh, it's easy. It's really easy for me to feel relaxed, but I almost feel like I feel whenever I'm supposed to be in the relaxed environment, I feel stressed, and when I'm in the stressful environment, I feel really relaxed. I almost rebel against the nature of whatever the situation is. It's kind of unhealthy. Like when I'm supposed to be doing work or something, I'm just so easygoing. I almost slack off. And then when I'm relaxed, it's like no, I have to be doing something. Like I have to be there has to be something to put like focus my mind on. So it's almost like stressful things make me relaxed. I guess I don't know. I feel like I do better when the odds are against me.
Yeah, that's interesting. One moment.
It is, yeah. Although not during like emotional confrontation. That's like the only place where I actually do stress out. Like when someone's just directly confronting me about like if I have any secrets or stuff like that. Something that I'm hiding. Other than that, I'm completely fine.
Okay. Someone has, I think, a question for you.
Sure. I always need to be productive. I always need to just focus on something mentally. Really, I have to be like reading a book. I have to be thinking about something I watched. I have to be in a conversation. I can't just sit around and do nothing. Like I never watch a TV show mindlessly. I'm always there's something that I'm constantly engaging in when I'm watching a TV show and like referencing it in my mind. Like okay, like this reminds me of this, or how can I use this? Like just I'm constantly just gathering new information and seeing what I can do with it. Like like frameworks and shit like that. Part of my profanity.
All right. One moment.
So productive. I don't know if productive is the right word. Just be kind of challenged. Sometimes I don't like being productive if it's not interesting to me. I guess being
Yeah.
productive is your own term. If somebody's productive is not another's. Self-defined.
They also ask why is that, but I don't know if you saw that, and I don't know what it was too.
Okay. Why is it that I need to be what?
Yeah, I don't know what they were.
Yeah.
Okay, I think they got it.
If they can clarify. Oh, they got it? Okay. Cool.
Okay. That's I guess. Well, how physically active are you, and why? I don't know to what extent.
I have a lot of physical energy, but I am not really physically active. Like I walk a lot. I have to walk to think. I have to walk to think. I walk around the house. I go on my trampoline. I walk around the block. I just walk all the time. But I never go to the gym or anything like that. I don't have any activities I do.
Do you
I'm
wish
just
you
always
did go to the
moving.
gym?
Oh yeah. I have to make a habit of it. It'd be pretty awesome for me.
Is it difficult for you to form habits like that?
It's difficult for me to find the reasons to do it. I think once I get into a habit, it's fine. It's just starting. I have a really hard time starting things. It's just oh god, I don't want to have to think about something that might be, uncomfortable or it's stupid. I won't like it. But then I get into it. It's like oh okay, this is fine.
Would you say that's a persistent theme in your life?
Yep. Yeah, that has been a constant thing since I was maybe a little kid, like really young.
That's really good to know. Okay. Let's see. What do you think that you're best at? And when you receive compliments or praise, what do they tend to be about?
Oh, I've always gotten compliments for. I've only ever gotten compliments either like in class when I make like an observant claim that kind of changes the whole mood of the class, or like on one of my projects, like on like art, like general things like, oh, you're talented, but like specifically somebody might say, I have a really good idea of like pacing when I'm making a film, or I have like really good direction, just so artist stuff, like giving a good experience and being observant. Those were the two things I've gotten constant compliments over the course of my life.
Okay.
Just those two, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense. How are responsibilities distributed between yourself and your family or housemates? Do you like to cook?
No, cooking freaks me out. I can only make like one or two things. I can do things like taking out the garbage or doing the cat box or doing my laundry and stuff. I do not like cooking. God, I can garden, but I cannot cook. I do not like cooking. I don't know why.
What tends to happen when you try?
I become really neurotic and anxious, like cooking. Oh shoot! Like making sure things are the right temperature, making sure like there's the right portions of oil, and I freak out when there's not enough. Like oh shoot, that's too much oil, or oh damn it, I left the mac and cheese on for a minute too long, or whatever. It's just things like that, and I become super irritable, and then I don't feel like eating. So the simpler the foods, the better. Like I'll just eat like a prepared salad or something, or make some toast. Like that's it.
Okay.
And if somebody cooks for me, that's even better.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
Although I think that goes for most people.
Yeah. That's interesting. We are honing in on a few different types.
Cool. Oh, do you have like a little chat room, like a little meeting room?
No,
with, somebody else.
I have another monitor where I have like a program that I'm running, and I enter in some values, and it like adjusts the probabilities for each type.
No, really?
Yeah.
Whoa, that's sick. You have a computer algorithm for my type? Holy shit.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Nobody does that. Like everyone's like, oh, he might be this just because I think so. No, you have like an objective like clarifier.
Yeah,
holy crap.
I hated having to like synthesize everything and like have this really subjective opinion. So I just throw everything into this and it does all of the calculations for me.
Did you write that program yourself or did you find it somewhere?
No, I wrote it. It's pretty simple.
Aw, damn. That's cool. Respect.
Yeah. Anyway, here's an interesting question. Does your sense of morality ever deviate from what is normally accepted as moral? If so, how?
Well, I always try to find the like two sides of things, and because people will grow up with this one way of looking at things, and I'm completely open to the other side of the opinion. That's why I'm neither like an atheist. I'm neither a theist. I think you can make really good points for both sides of the argument, and so my morality system is almost like situation based. I'm kind of like it's more pragmatic, I think. For For all I know, my morals could be in the toilet. I don't know. I really don't know. Someone used that term before when describing my morals. They said they were in the toilet, but only one person.
What exactly led to that?
Oh, I don't remember. It was something stupid. I was trying to help them with a friendship or something. This was like 2 years ago.
Oh.
And they were acting really over emotional about it, and I was trying to be more concrete and reasonable with them. Well, I think well, because you're both individuals, and these are your needs, these are your wants, these are your fears, and you have to consider both of them. And I guess I'm not trying to be a emotionally supportive. I'm just trying to actually help them.
If you're not just as agitated as they are, then your morals are in the toilet. It's just a fact.
Yeah, exactly. Jesus.
To what LCS Swan said. Fuck, if I can get my cursor to the other monitor. No, not that thing. That.
I'm looking at it.
But if you wrote the program,
it's still subjective. Not if you're using somebody else's definitions. I am using.
Are you? I am using my own definitions. It is subjective. It's just less work.
But I don't know. Did you invent this your own socionics model?
That's essentially what I'm doing.
Okay. Cool. I don't know if you could call it. Well, everything's subjective, and therefore nothing's subjective. I'm going to shut up.
Yeah, essentially. I think any typist who claims to be objective is probably less reliable than one who doesn't.
It's almost like you're trying to talk to your past self, the person who made those definitions. And so definitions can be rewritten in your brain while you're in the moment, but because you have an algorithm that was made in the past, you can just type it in and it'll just give you. So it's sort of like it's subjective, but it's not you right now. It's somebody else. It's like you're talking to a whole different person.
Well, the thing is that the program I've written doesn't really assert any definitions. It just does basic calculations that assist in this, and I make the connection between a given piece of evidence and what types it suggests.
Okay. So you put in a 1 point for function A, or 2 points for, and then negative 5 points for this function because that's obviously lacking or whatever.
Yeah, basically that.
Okay.
How strong are your emotions, and when your mood changes, is it for an observable reason or is it seemingly random?
Oh, when it comes to really irrational things good piece of artwork or music, I can get really emotional. I'll have to take a half hour to cry somewhere, but if I'm in an argument, I'm pretty composed. So yeah, when I'm rational, I'm rational. When I'm irrational, I'm irrational.
Okay.
I don't know.
That works.
Really, I don't know if that answer works. Okay, cool.
Yeah. You kind of answered this already, but does anything affect your mood more than it would for most people?
Yeah. Like beauty and art. I when I watch a really good movie, it doesn't even have to be sad. It's just when I know that somebody put a lot of work into something, it makes me super appreciative and emotional. Holy shit, this is what humans can do.
Yeah.
There's something bigger than myself. Yeah. I don't want to use the word spiritual, because I don't think I'm a very spiritual person, but I am a very I'm prone to be very appreciative of beauty in the world. Like a good math problem. Like if somebody just knows how to solve a math problem really well, I'm like, damn. sheds a tear. You can do long division though.
Yeah. When do you feel the most happy and at peace?
I feel almost euphoric when I'm when I discover or rediscover some like a new technique I could use for a film or a piece of work. Thinking about how I can direct something, and then when I actually do it and execute it well, it's like it's awesome. It's a feeling of pure bliss.
That's nice. Okay, let's see. The whole world has united under a single world. It is ruled autocratically. That ruler is you. What's your plan?
The first. I'd probably make it so that nobody thinks that I'm ruler. I'd try to find some kind of system where nobody thinks that there is a ruler, but I still am the ruler, and I don't try to touch anything. That's what I would do. But I'm still in control somehow. I don't know. I have to think about it because I don't want to control people.
I see.
At all. Like I don't want I don't want to have one economy collapse or whatever. I don't want one person to fall in love with me. I want the world to just be the way it is. I don't think anything should be touched. I think things just happen the way they do.
Okay.
So that's not. So I guess that's more like I took that as like I'm God. But if as a world leader, I wouldn't want anybody to know I'm a leader. People should just live freely. They shouldn't have to think about somebody being watched over them.
Fair enough. I mean, there is also there's also the possibility of you being a ruler who doesn't have like complete power, doesn't exercise all of it.
No, I don't want to. I think there should be like it should be like an emergency only kind of thing, and even then I wouldn't know what to do. It would be more. I would use my full, autocracy to make a democracy. So when we need to make an important decision, I get everybody's opinions, and then go from there. What's the most reasonable?
Fair enough. What kinds of sports do you play, and what are your achievements in sports, if you have any?
I don't play any team sports, but I was in Boy Scouts for like 7 or 8 years, and we did a lot of backpacking. I've hiked a lot, a couple thousand miles at least. I'm a decent enough swimmer, but not on a team. So I just do hiking and swimming. No accomplishments, no trophies, nothing like that.
What about those sports appealed to you?
Well, hiking, it's just the combination of the grit that you have, like just pushing forward, that feeling of just you're really tired. You don't want to push forward, but you just keep doing it anyway. Just put one foot in front of another, and all of a sudden you're at your destination, and that's one of the best feelings in the world. And swimming, I'm just good at it. No, my mom made me take swim lessons, and so whenever I get in the water, I'm pretty confident.
All right, one moment. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Do you often keep things clean, and is this important to you? How strictly do you organize your possessions and living space, and is this important to you?
Mm, ordered chaos. I'm sure you have heard that before. There is the heap of laundry in my corner, but it is still a heap of laundry. There's my desk is messy, but the mess is all it's my pile of glasses, like my pile of papers. It's not like my papers are just on the floor. It's like everything has its own spot, but in that spot, it's complete just apocalypse, and it's almost devastating to look at.
Okay.
I try to be orderly. I'm not super orderly.
That's fair enough. Have you ever led people? If so, how many and what was the situation?
Oh, I've done that a couple times. Um, like like I said, I direct films, so I have to lead groups of like at most I probably only directed like 10 or 12 people at a time. Like actors, like okay, actors, you go here. Uh, my production assistant, hey, can you help me print these papers out, the script, while I go talk to the catering people, and stuff like that. And I've led some school projects and stuff like that. I only really take lead if I think there is something to accomplish. I don't lead just because I want to.
Right.
So if I'm obsessed with something, there's a vision I want to carry out. It's like, okay, I have to take charge because only I know that I can do it best. But other than that, I try to stay kind of not in the background, but you know.
Okay. Sorry, 1 second. Okay. How do you behave in unfamiliar company? Do you immediately enter into a conversation? Do you look around for a while? Do you wait until someone approaches you, etc.?
Um, I usually keep to myself. Um, I only really initiate a conversation if I think there is something to gain from them. Like if there's a cute girl, I'm like, hey, what's up? But if it's just some guy in the elevator, I won't say anything.
Okay. Are you quick-tempered? If so, in what cases?
Oh, I'm quick tempered when somebody doesn't do something right. Like if somebody doesn't know how to work a controller of some kind, or they're not driving well. I'm kind of like a backseat driver. Uh, yeah, I try to. I have the intention of trying to teach people how to do something, but end up just kind of coming off as an asshole, and so I have a really quick temper with stuff like that. I'm slightly impatient, but I'm not really impatient so much as I'm just impulsive. Uh, yeah, it's rare that I get really hot tempered. It's just when I think somebody is incompetent or they're doing something wrong, or they have a misunderstanding, but then they come down really quick.
When you're showing someone how to do something, do you tend to be able to walk them logically through all of the steps, or you find it much easier to just do it yourself and have them repeat what you did?
Oh, ooh, that's a good one. I think I try to teach somebody the basic theory behind something, like I create an analogy for them that works and how they understand things, and then they're like, oh, okay, I kind of understand how that works, and then I just let them see how they do it, and some that can go down a rabbit hole, like with creating examples and ideas that can support their worldview. So I try to be more like perceptive and understand where they're coming from when they're trying to solve something. So it's not like, okay, do it like repeat after me. It's just like I find the root idea behind something or the cause, and then I word it in a way they can understand it. So I can explain how to make a sandwich completely differently to two people.
Okay, that's interesting. What do you think of conspiracy theories? Which do you believe in, if any? Why?
Some conspiracy theories make a lot of sense. There's ones that, like, usually political ones make sense. Like, JFK was shot by the government. Like, that makes sense. There's actually a lot of evidence to support it. But then there's things like we faked the moon landing, where, like, scientifically, financially, it's like, it would be so much harder to fake the moon landing than to just actually do it. So things are they can obviously be covered up because the motives are unclear. Yeah, conspiracy theories in which the action was real, but the motivations behind it are not what we think, are the ones that I can usually make an argument for. But then there are ones where people think that the actual action it didn't happen. That's when I'm like, are you sure? Because then it gets into like friggin' physics and shit, and you have to like do a bunch of work, problem solving, and they'll realize that they were wrong.
All right. I am down to, I believe, 2 different types for you.
Hey,
I just
cool.
thought I'd let you know that.
Okay, we're getting close.
Yes. What were you like as a kid? Did any moments or aspects of your personality at the time stand out to you?
When I was younger, I was a little bit aloof. I was really admired by a lot of my acquaintances, and kids liked me and stuff like that. But I never like got close to anybody. I was the kid like at lunch who would walk around the track like over and over again, keeping to myself and thinking. But if somebody walked past me, I would like ask them what they're doing or what's up, talk to them for a little bit, and then just move on. You know, and then people would come to me and like ask me questions and stuff. But I never had like a set friend group or anything like that. I was usually always preoccupied with drawing or some project I wanted to do. I was always trying to make stuff. I wanted to make things and explore things.
I see.
That's what I was like.
What kind of projects did you work on? Do you have any examples?
I had a whole comic book series that I made from like second grade to maybe 5th grade. It was like 15 issues. It was called The Incredible Hunter. It's about like an Indiana Jones type superhero, and I worked on that. And there's a couple spin-offs to that. I tried to do like flipbook animations. Eventually, I was getting really into filmmaking by like fourth grade, fifth grade, designing like movie posters for things I want to do, like concept art. I had like a little journal. Like I actually found it recently. I wrote it in like the last couple of months of sixth grade of a YouTube web series I wanted to make, where I just had like random skits on it. That never came into fruition though. Yeah, in middle school, I worked on short films I would show to my class every week. But recently, I've been getting kind of lazy and preoccupied with a lot of things.
Yeah, that makes sense. Does anyone watching, if there is anyone watching, have questions for him? I don't think anyone is watching.
How many people are watching?
Yeah, I don't have that. I don't think. I can't see that from here. I can only see it from YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Unless I go to, like, the analytics thing, but that's a different page, and I think I'll, like, accidentally end this stream if I go to that.
Can you just open it in a new tab, or?
I could, but, like, I don't want to, like, accidentally, like, misclick or something.
All right.
Oh,
cool.
Stefan is still here. Stefan says, "Wait."
Wait. For what?
I don't know.
Oh, is Stefan gonna check YouTube?
Yeah, I hope so.
Do it for us, baby.
Who's on the chat? Oh, the YouTube ping bot actually sends out a notification once we start the stream instead of like 8 hours after. That's nice.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
Yeah. How does your thought process work when you're creating something imaginative or creative?
Ooh, okay. Let's see. Most of the time, in my head, I am like
Hello, noise.
creating like scenes of a movie in my head, and I go through all the different technical aspects of it. So I'm like, okay, so I think narratively, like I'm writing lines in my head, and I kind of like copy and paste it into the scene. I'm trying to think of like what like something. Hold on, let me think of this for a second. It's kind of like you have like a legend where you have all these different elements that you put onto a canvas, and then I just mix and match all the different elements that I have in my head that I think makes sense for the scene. So it's like, okay, like the focal length of a lens to shoot on this actor from this distance, and I mix match all that in my head, and it's like, okay, was like what actor would I cast? And I go through like what makeup would they wear? Just kind of like just scrolling through all these options in my head until I find something that is right. This is like just past experiences, what I know, what I think could work, and then just visualizing it in my head. It's just synthesizing, I guess. That's the word.
Yes.
Until it feels right. It's like, yep, there it is.
Okay. That is helpful. I think I'm about ready. I have a question for you.
Okay.
Why did you think that you were LSI or TIS, which is what I heard that you thought?
Oh, well, I had like the four sides typing theory done on me, and after that was done, somebody typed me as LSI, and they just explained it really well, like almost to the point where I was in shock of how accurate it was, just because it wasn't idealistic. It was like real world stuff. Like all my flaws were pointed out perfectly. All the
Do you
things
have
that
an
I
example?
do. Okay, let me think. They said like, oh, the way that I use SI and that I have a really good memory. It's just I don't live in my memory. I only pull it out when I absolutely have to. And they said that was like SI, what would be called SI critic.
That doesn't sound like socionics. That sounds like
I know. So that's right. It's BB. I think it's like Linda Barron's. It's
BD.
BB. John BB.
Yeah.
And so but they called it LSI. I don't remember. And so yeah,
Psychology
you're an
is
LSI.
weird.
I know they combine all of what they know into one answer. And so
Yeah.
if you try to dissect their answer, then you're just completely lost. Like how did you get there? They don't give you one system. They work backwards.
Yes. How punctual are you? And and in practice, how forgetful are you?
Okay, like punctual, like showing up on time.
Yeah.
It varies if I really care. Sometimes if I think something's important, I show up like 15 minutes early or 10 minutes early. And if it's kind of something I just don't really care about, I might show up like either on time or a couple minutes late.
Hmm.
And then if I'm just it really just it is out of my own interest, and like I don't have a habit like, okay, always show up 5 minutes early. Always show up 10 minutes early. It's completely interest based.
Okay.
Which can make me a little bit unreliable, but the way I combat that is always trying to be interested in what I'm about to do. I have to think of it in a new way, not just show up just to be early and to be considerate. Show up because you want to be there. There's something you can gain from being early. I have to set those mental boundaries for myself.
All right. Well, okay. This point, I think I've got it, but if you want, I can ask a few more questions to be absolutely sure, but it's up to you.
Do whatever you think will get like just super accurate. Like how confident do you think you are right now? Like on a scale of like 1 to 100.
Maybe like 85, 90%.
Okay. Do you have any like questions that you're just dying to ask?
Not really. Otherwise, I would
Not
ask
really.
them.
Okay.
But I'm trying to
That's a dumb
think.
question. Yeah.
As with before, if anyone watching has questions, that would be very much appreciated right now.
Yeah, come on, guys. God, get involved. We need all the help we can get.
Oh, I have a question that I was going to ask.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't
sure.
think I did.
Okay.
How much energy do you tend to have, and how much does your energy level vary?
Oh my God, I'm super high energy. Like and that's why I think I should have a regular exercise routine. I'm super high in physical energy. Like I have to like punch my palms with my fist when I have too much energy, and then I'm like jumping around the house, and I have to go out to like crap. I have to get out of here because thinking makes me energetic, and I think a lot, and so I just get all pouncy. I don't know.
Okay, that actually settles it, I think.
Oh, nice. Okay, very cool.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do like a poll thing. If anyone watching wants to give their guess of these three types, they can. Do you think that? And I'm just listing these off in quadro order, kind of. Do you think that he is NET, SET, or TIS? I'll just wait for a moment. I like to see what people think, but no one is really saying anything.
Big oof.
What's your guess?
I have no idea. I always just guess like, well, I don't know. Maybe it's TIS. Somebody one person thought I was SLE. They didn't explain why though. They said, yeah, you're probably SCT. I took the sociotype.com test, and in order, the ones I got were SET, NET, and TIS. So actually, the three that you just listed are the three main ones I get. So
That's interesting. I actually think that you are NET.
Oh, that's a new. No one has ever thought I'm NET ever.
That's strange. So it is very clear that you have that you have maximum energy TI.
Okay.
That it's in your top two. But what makes me think not? What makes me think that's interesting. No.
Yeah, because people think I'm like, because I act like a buffoon, and so no, like, because the whole like intuitive bias, the bias thing, like, I don't come off as an intuitive ever, and so I'm probably speaking in a lingo that doesn't really match up with socionics, but it's like everyone just thinks that I'm just so full of energy that I have to be like a really high SE user.
I don't think that's how it works.
I don't think so either.
I think that high energy is just related to being an extrovert.
Probably. Yeah, 'cause I'm not physical, like, at all.
Yeah. TEN is interesting. I'm gonna think that over for a moment, but for the time being, I don't think so. Yeah. So I think there's a lot of evidence, especially from you describing your thinking style, that you're a process type. It was especially methodical. It was too methodical to be a result type, such as TEN or SCT.
Okay.
And that sort of narrows it down to TIS or NET. In comparison to the TIS types that I know, you just have a lot of NE, and you also seem extroverted, especially because of that amount of energy. And you almost described something kind of like having an excess of energy at times.
Yeah.
Which is especially indicative of maybe of being either having leading or demonstrative NE, or leading with NE or SE, and with the NET you have both of those. You also seem to the SETs use almost no Fi plus, so they can seem somewhat insensitive in communication. But if anything, you seem to go the other way, using no Fi minus, and seem very universally kind and trusting.
Yeah. I've been almost too trusting at times that I become gullible.
That's very common for the NET.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the thing about TEN is that, first of all, you seem process. I think you have too much TI. Although if you wanted to, we could look through some of like the main traits of each type and consider, but I don't think that it's very likely.
Yeah, I don't know about. I've never really been considered TE. Yeah, could we actually? I'd like to just see some traits.
Okay. To make this easy, I'll just read off Gull and Go's description of each one.
Okay.
Just to see what you think, because I think it's just likely enough to be worth considering.
Okay.
Okay. So here's the short description by Golenko of the ILE or the NET, which I'll read first for comparison.
Okay.
The ILE is adept at saying distant prospects, inventive, always has numerous ideas and new projects, indiscriminately interested in everything in hopes of finding something unique, depreciates past achievements, works on what is of interest to him even if it doesn't guarantee any real returns. ILE is rather scattered and inattentive, often loses small items, may spend a lot of time thinking to himself and looking for regularities and phenomena. His logic seems paradoxical to others. He is not afraid to go against conventional opinions if he considers them outdated, tries to make major breakthroughs and discoveries. He is yielding in matters of everyday life and needs, will actively resist any attempts to subordinate himself to a routine or a strict schedule. Despite the fact that he is busy looking for alternatives to conventional mundane life, in difficult situations he often shows impressive ingenuity and hastiness. He cannot be reasoned with the language of force. ILE does not feel well interpersonal distances, i.e. how close or far he is with someone. He often tries to be equally friendly to everyone, ensures that his conversation partner expresses an interest for what he has to say. In communication, ILE is accessible and democratic, absolutely needs periodic emotional shake-ups and upheavals. His mood is depressed within routine.
Oh, damn. Okay, and then what's the TEN?
I'll read it now. How accurate was that?
I'll tell you after I hear the TEN.
Okay. The LIE is an enterprising person who can literally light up with what he's doing. He is given to innovation, takes notice of new ideas and theories, and aims to find them a practical application. Active and restless, often interested in travel and active types of sport, hiking, climbing, running. Loves nature, endows it with a special meaning. Always knows what his is aiming for and explains this goal to those around him. He boldly experiments, disproving ordinary notions. Not afraid to take risks, relying on his intuitive foresight to orient in various situations. Often he is endowed with a rich imagination and is able to come up with the most unusual ideas, distinguished by having intellectual interests in various fields. A good inventor, experimenter, and technician. Seeks to act in advance because he knows that tomorrow will be too late. Optimistic, possesses a good sense of humor. His jokes, however, are not always appropriate. Experiences problems with the reliability of human relations. Because of his lack of discernment in making contacts, he can be pulled into questionable ventures. Restless, talks a lot without paying attention to lack of time. Does not assign much importance to order and comfort around him. Nature usually endows him with health and stamina, which he is committed to support by various methods. He does not tolerate idle pastime, due to which he cannot relax even during vacations. He is not very much worried about the outer appearance, if only his plans and goals do not suffer.
That was the LIE?
Yes.
Ooh. Oh, man. I got a lot more from the NET, but there was some stuff in the TEN that was like, whoa, holy shit.
That's interesting. There are two things that we could do just to be sure. We could look at like certain excerpts of the detailed descriptions, which are even more accurate in some cases, or we could also look at the SET to verify.
Yeah, we can look at the SET.
Okay. The SLE is a decisive and goal-oriented person, prefers to set only major goals and will move towards them no matter the obstacles. His persistence increases proportionally to the number of obstacles that must be overcome. If there is no excitement of a struggle or a competition, he plunges into doubt and low mood. Attempts to give instruction and orders, but himself dislikes commanding tone, makes others concede and fall under his influence, often assumes the position of a shadow leader, can accept a temporary compromise. Logically calculates a plan of action in advance as if playing a game of chess, a flexible tactician. Poorly foresees the future development of events, may halt in indecision if things get out of control or take an unexpected turn. Controls his activities from the point of view of the final result. In the decisive moment, he is able to concentrate all his forces. Distrustful, tests people in action, feels unsure about how others relate to him, prone to first notice the weaknesses and shortcomings, finds it difficult to restrain negative emotions in his relationships, can be intolerant in communication with his loved ones. In an extreme situation, leaves no room for pity and sympathy. His feelings always have a physical component of possessing his partner.
Okay, I got more. I related more to the SET than I did the TEN.
Okay.
So right now it's like NET, SET, and then TEN.
I think
The TEN's the lowest.
I think it's probably safe to go with the NET then. Or do you want to read some more specific parts of it?
Sure.
Okay.
To be absolutely clear.
Okay. He neatly splits up the detailed description into the 8 elements. Or what he considers to be the 8 elements. So do you want to just name one and I'll read it to
you? Well, could you go off of like a weak? They're both of their weakest functions, or something like that. Because usually, I can relate more to the real than the good ones. Like, because I want to hear your bad stuff. It hurts to hear it.
Okay.
If you can find something like that, whatever.
Do you want
the negative part?
Yeah, there are 2 different kinds. Do you want to find the element that it has low energy and low informational strength, or somewhat better informational strength but even worse energy?
Let's do the okay information, even worse energy.
Okay. Constantly tracks the amount of available time, hurries others, but disposes of his own time and the time of other people as he sees it fit. Not seldom runs late or forgets his promises to do something by an agreed deadline. At times he is fussing around, at other times acting with emphasized leisureliness. He cannot attain an average pace of life. Lives by his own understanding of time. Has a tendency to start discussions on questions that interest him at a time that is inconvenient to others, but himself won't listen to something that is not said to the occasion. Can predict trends and future developments based on the most recent turn of events. Expresses an interest in catastrophes, natural disasters, massive losses and deaths, and other life-changing events.
Oh my god. Holy shit. There's a part in there that my mom described me as last week. Like, she said almost verbatim. Like, I will just talk about things that I care about at the expense of other people. Oh,
yeah, damn. There you go.
Like, I ask really good questions, and they can be interesting, but like I just ask them out of my own thoughts. It's just like in the conversation, I can almost disrupt it and then make a new conversation. Holy shit! And the whole oh my god, because I'm fascinated with like war and like communist Russia and like Nazi Germany and all their genocides and shit like that. My mom hates that. Like, I'm fascinated by war and catastrophe. Oh, and
I know exactly
like, the plagues and stuff. Holy
I do
shit.
the same thing.
It's just like, how can you get to that level of horrificness and get like, how can you do that? How did they kill all those people?
Yeah,
it's just like that part of the human psyche, and that you can do that. I don't know how that isn't fascinating to anybody. It's like everybody should be researching that.
It's that it's like morbidly fascinating.
It is so incredible, like what humans are capable of. And that was pretty like whoa. That was like.
Do you want to hear another one?
Sure, why not?
I'll do the other one I was considering reading. Interacts with other people at short psychological distances. Evaluates relations by level of their democratism. The less there is of formalism and ceremoniousness, the better for him. Can be quite inconsistent in relations with his family and friends. At first, he is democratic down to familiarity, then suddenly stern and unapproachable, as if they are strangers. In a conversation, tries to get all attention of a conversation partner. May gesticulate avidly, speak in a loud tone, fiddle with some object in his hands, and even touch his conversation companions. Can selflessly provide assistance to people who come to him for his help. He finds it very difficult to introduce damaging notes into his relationships by denying a person a chance to communicate with him. Feels his own connectedness and responsibility through his relationships with other people. Does not hesitate to share his personal problems with others. Inclined to discuss particularities of people's behavior or lifestyle.
Oh, wow. Which one was that? That's the
That's the vulnerable. That's the vulnerable FI of the NET.
Wow. That was like shit. That made me kind of feel bad.
Yeah,
So there was remember me some old friendships that kind of went sour. The things like that. Like I'm super like approachable at first, and then I just lose interest over time, and
that's a common problem with this type.
yeah, if things aren't novel, it gets really hard to keep up. It's like I can have a really like amazing conversation with somebody for like one day, and then we're never friends again for like forever, and that's it. It's just like, wow. Yeah, that was pretty accurate.
Once this is over, do you want me to send you the full thing?
Yes, I would love it. Please.
Because there's way more.
Okay. Damn, I'm surprised I'm learning all of this now. Like,
yeah.
Like, I'm almost like, oh, do you think I could be an ENTP? And everyone's like, no. Like, why the fuck would you be an ENTP? Like, in socionics, like, I specifically ask in socionics, like, no.
Yeah, this is, a lot of people are just awful typists. Most typists just aren't very competent.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm perfect, but at least I'm able to see these things that are, that become pretty obvious with time.
Damn. Based.
Yeah. So do you have any other questions? Or...
No, I'm still trying to process all of this. I mean, if I think of them, I'll message you absolutely. But
okay.
So
do you actually want to hear the recommendations for self-improvement?
Yeah, I would.
Okay. Yeah, this will give you the good parts and definitely the bad parts as well.
Okay.
Your forte is undeniably well-developed learning-oriented thinking. Often, various interesting and promising ideas come to your mind. You are able to see the general essence of events and anticipate how they will unravel further. Your developed intuition helps you make the right decisions. You read a lot and are interested in all that is new and unusual. But therein lies a certain danger of scattering your interests and losing the main interest that defines you as a person. The instrument for the realization of your intuitive ideas and guesses is logic. You seek to rationalize your ideas and thereby convince people around you in the correctness of these ideas. Due to this quality, similar-minded people gather around you. You are the enemy of all that is stagnant and outdated. In this lies the danger of a stance of total nihilism. Your main problem is the inability to properly understand the relationships between people. It is especially difficult for you to assess true attitudes towards yourself. Once you have intuitively figured out a person, he or she is no longer interesting for you. You don't know what to do with this person next. This can work to make people dislike you. You also don't see your true enemies in opposition. Try not to jump to conclusions in your assessment of people around you. To make such assessments, try to orient yourself by people's objective of observable actions. Then you will be able to figure out the people who are unfriendly, antagonistic, and unsympathetic towards yourself. You have a difficulty establishing stable, positive relations with people who are close to you. You can accidentally be tactless and disrupt the established harmonious relations. Try to hold back on your immediate reaction towards the various statements or actions of a person who is close and dear to you. The following recommendations may also be useful to you. Don't get carried away with excessive democratism, which inconspicuously for you may meld into unneeded familiarity. This could undermine your credibility and your authority. Exercise more tact in your behavior to not shock people with your honesty and straightforwardness. By this, you can acquire ill wishers without aiming for it yourself. Another one of your problems is inability to be organized and low self-discipline. Due to this, you lose track of daily chores and upkeep tasks, which may result in disruption of events and future plans that you had in mind. Try to take care of things in a timely manner. If you are the supervisor or manager at work, try not to slip into excessive exercises of your will. Avoid pressuring of your employees unnecessarily. Know where to draw the line. Such an inadequate response can put you in a ridiculous position. Switch your energy into taking up sports to allow an outlet. This will raise your vitality, improve your well-being and endurance. You'll become more collected and disciplined.
Whole, like, Okay, I have to like take that into several parts and like explain why that is so absolutely right. Okay, the first part, um, where I have so many things that I'm interested in and I want to learn, but I think like 18 months ago, I was in a support class because I was not doing well in school. I've never done well in school just because I don't care to do the homework or anything like that. So I ended up
That's
being
pretty.
like everybody's favorite student who didn't do any work, and it'd be like, oh, they'd be so disappointed in me. That's not the point though. And so my teacher's like, he might have been in NET for all I know, because he said like there's all these things that he wanted to do and he was interested in and wanted to read, but ultimately in the end, there's only one thing he could really do well, and that made him extremely happy, and he just went with that, and he never regretted it. And I felt that so much because there are so many things I wanted to do. Like at one point, I wanted to be a physicist. At one point, I wanted to be oh my god, I wanted to be a Navy SEAL. At one point, I wanted to be a neuroscientist. I wanted to be a psychologist. I wanted to be a freaking corporate manager. It's just all these things I want to do. But in the end, the only thing where I know I'm good at, and like, it just makes me so happy to do it, is filmmaking. And so I
Yeah.
had to come to terms like, yeah, like there's that book you want to read on psychology or on whatever, like physics. Like, yeah, you can read it, but sorry, kid, you're not going to be a physicist. There's something that you have to do. Like, you have a responsibility from some other fucking lifetime, for all you know,
Yeah.
that you have to do. And that's for me, it's filmmaking and making art.
Yeah.
And then
I did the
the
exact
part,
same thing. I had the exact same
yeah.
experience, and you can see the path that I'm taking right now.
Oh, and I hope you're happy with the choice that you've made.
Well, yeah.
Awesome. That's hard to do. Like all the things that like you want to do, you think you can do, and then sacrificing it in the moment. Like it'll hurt in the moment, and then in the future you'll be like, "Damn, I'm so glad I did it. Completely worth it."
Yeah. It's easy to wish there were more hours in the day.
Yeah, God, the Beatles, 8 days a week. No.
Yeah.
And then the part about like undertaking a sport to like have an outlet. That's all my dad talks to me about. He's like, yeah, you need to be doing something physical because you have so much energy. Like you need to be on a sport. Like last night at dinner, he's like, why aren't you playing football, or why aren't you playing soccer, or why aren't you swimming, or why aren't you like he said, you would be really good at that. It'd be a good way to get your energy out. So that's like a real world example that someone's given me, and I agree with. Lack of discipline. Again, like horrible in school. Never did any of my work. I could always just do the bare minimum because I could just think things in the moment or memorize things, but that's about it. I never had to study, and so either I'd be like a C student or I'd flunk completely.
Yeah.
And so I just complete lack of discipline, slack on things for months, and then do them at the last minute if I have to. And then the relationship stuff. I mean, I've never really had any like super close friends, so it's hard to say. But with the whatever relationships I've had so far, those patterns have emerged. To the point where I break some off in fear of damaging them, or just becoming indifferent or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have done that before.
So everything that you described over the past, I don't know how long it's been, like 90 minutes, like fit the things that I do, like that I focus on my time, like perfectly. Like
That's good.
my thought process and how I approach my craft and shit, completely 100% accurate. That is the way I approach the things that I do that I really care about. Everything else, I'm kind of wishy washy. So like, if you were like, do I think like that when I'm doing chores? I don't know. Am I like that when I'm you know doing whatever? I might be whatever, but specifically to what I do, that was pretty eye opening.
Yeah.
I
Well, that's good.
never would have thought I'd be typed as this, and I'm surprised nobody ever considered it for me until you did.
Yeah. I'm not sure if the thing is that those are the exact types that it's types like those that tend to get overlooked in these situations where you're like stereotypically associated with some types, but you end up actually being more similar to another one. And I'm not sure
Yeah.
how deeply I would have considered it without like the program that I wrote and everything that I put into it. Since the thing about it is that it's fully objective. I mean, not fully objective, but it's
Okay,
more
yeah,
objective.
I know it is technically objective because you're just running it through a computer system.
It's fully objective in some ways. That's what I
It
mean.
is. Yeah, you just enter a couple of keystrokes and then you have an answer. You don't have to like think about it with your mushy brain and then be like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's right. Nope, you're like the computer is 100% accurate.
Yeah, exactly. So do you have any other questions? Or
No,
anything else
not
you want to say?
right. I have to mull over this for a while. I'll let you know though when I come. I'm
Okay,
definitely going to
great.
be asking you some questions in the next couple of days. I know I will. Oh, but
All
thank you
right.
so much for doing this.
Yeah,
This
of
was
course.
awesome. I loved every moment of it.
That's great.
All right, cool.
Okay, well, I will talk to you later.
All right, bye everybody.
Yeah, bye.